We're coming to you live from the rinks at the Sports Center of Connecticut here in Shelton for a crucial battle as we come down the final stretch of NUHA Conference play. It's Game 2 of this home-and-home series between the Stonehill College Skyhawks and the Post University Eagles. Welcome into the broadcast booth, ladies and gentlemen. Join alongside our production team of Grace Glassrud, Kristen Brown, and Jake Haddad. I'm Max Stapleton, and we're thrilled to be bringing you through today's action. Last night's game started off strong for the Eagles as they scored 2 goals in less than 2 minutes thanks to Timmery Grom's first goal of the season and Hannah Luckman's second goal in as many games. The second half of the game didn't go as well as the Skyhawks netted 5 unanswered goals from the second period onwards to take the game 5-2. Although Post was able to keep star Skyhawk Bailey Feeney in check, it was their defensive captain, Sydney Russell, with a career game offensively, netting a goal and 2 assists to help secure the win. Last night's game saw the Eagles employ Devin Amundsen in net, which should help set up Hannah Saunders for fresh legs today, who, by the way, ranks in the top 5 nationally and leads the conference in save percentage. For the Skyhawks, it'll be a second straight night of Eve Stone as the netminder, as Stonehill's intended starter at the beginning of the season is only playing in her 5th game of the year, coming back from injury. With the loss last night, the Eagles return home with a record of 9-11-3 in conference play, 8 points behind the Skyhawks, who, if the season ended today, would be the last team with home ice advantage come the first round of the NUHA Conference tournament. With this being the 5th to last game of the season and Post only playing teams ahead of them in the standings, every point possible becomes all the more important for Pat Bingham and his crew. We have lots in store for you before this crucial matchup in the NUHA. Starting lineups, national anthem, goaltender matchups, and of course the puck drop. It's all coming up next as you're watching Post University Women's Hockey. Welcome back into the rinks, ladies and gentlemen. Both teams are getting set up for this crucial matchup in New Hawk Conference play. Starting lineups for today. For Post University, it's their usual starting lineup. Rowan Ringer, Julia Wysocki, Selena Makavakis. And we're underway here in Shelton very quickly for what should be a really fun game. The defense pairing today, Karis Kale and Brooke Larson. And of course, in net for Post University today, it'll be Hannah Saunders, as you see there on your screen, going down to the other side of the ice for an icing right away. Defensive zone face-off win for the Eagles. We'll get you the starting lineup for Stonehill College in just a moment. You have to excuse me at the beginning of this game. I had to do PA earlier today, so I just sprinted across the ice trying to get back here for the play-by-play, but we'll get caught up in just a moment. Good defensive zone turnover for the Skyhawks early here. Madison Actel moves into the offensive zone. Good stick check from Karis Kale as well. Post turns it over their defensive way. Now tries to break out, but it gets taken away on the forecheck. That was their captain, Josie Mendezoon, who took that one away for Stonehill. Post able to clear the defensive zone, but only temporarily. Bailey Feeney brings it right back in. Tie up along the near boards here. Josie Mendezoon in there. Brooke Larson has it on her stick across the ice, and ultimately Post just going to send it up. Take a quick second. Starting lineup today for Stonehill, it was Peyton Wise, Maeve Connolly, Madison Actel, your starting forward group. Sienna Spadone and Lily Barrett, the defense pairing, as Jody Rose moves in. A good cross-ice pass. Noah Farberman decided not to take the shot, maybe just a little too close for comfort. Farberman had it again, but it gets poke-checked away. Stonehill comes the other way. Bailey Feeney content to just dump it in. Stonehill going to get a platoon swap. Macy Peterson along the far boards, trying to send it up the ice. Noah Farberman collects and just dumps it in. Post going to do the same thing the other way. Last night's game started off strong for Post University. They got a 2-0 lead in the first period, scored back-to-back goals within 2 minutes. It was Tim Marie Grom's first goal of the season, and then it was also Hannah Luckman, as that's a hard slap shot from a long time away. It was Hannah Luckman scoring her second goal in as many games yesterday. But after the Eagles went up 2-0 on the road, as they say, the most dangerous lead in hockey, and, well, they ended up losing 5-2. 5 unanswered goals from Stonehill yesterday, and what was a very, very crucial game in the New Hods now sees Stonehill with 38 points in conference play, sitting in 4th in the conference. Meanwhile, Post entering today with 30 points in conference play, sitting in 6th. Only 5 games remaining. This is pretty crucial. You want to get to that 4th place spot because whoever's in 4th is the last team to have home ice advantage come the first round of the conference tournament. Quick shot off the draw from Spadone, easily stopped by Hannah Saunders that time. 17:44 to go here in the first period, still scoreless. Along these near boards, now up to the blue line. Far side, Lily Barrett takes a good shot, kicked away by Saunders. Saunders looking sharp early, another test there. Shot came off the stick of Mia Kenmore. Slocum in there, now back up to the blue line. Spadone takes a hard one, kicked over to the corner. Hannah Saunders getting tested early and often. Stonehill dominating offensive zone possession time a few minutes into this game. Post content to just clear it down, try to get some fresh legs in there. And this is what you saw a lot of Stonehill do last night over in Bridgeport, Connecticut. They move it back in the offensive zone, really just dominating possession time in the second half of that game as a long shot deflects up and over the netting. Boy, a good setup there from the Skyhawks, but ultimately no shot on goal there. Brooke Larson takes it away, tries to chip it out of her defensive zone and does. Now chasing after it, Hannah Luckman, but a good back check there from Sydney Russell. Russell tries to clear the zone, eventually does, and now it's a 2-on-2 forming here. Peyton Wise just chips it forward, back behind the netting. Karis Kell goes in to collect it. Now Post University looking to break some things out. Long way up the ice. Icing waved off. It was tipped before it got to the red line, or after, I should say. Coming the other way now, the Skyhawks. Skyhawks in their purple, white, and gray uniforms. That's whistled down for offsides. Post University in their classic home, we'll call that dark blue, maybe purple and orange uniforms as well. 16:07 to go left in this first period. Individually today, a couple of really key numbers to look out for. Post wins that faceoff. Julia Wysocki wins it in the circle. For Wysocki personally, she leads the conference in goals. She's tied for the conference league in points. She collects the puck and dumps it in behind the netting. No one really there to collect for Post. Rowan Ringer chasing after it. Now that tie up all the way back in the far corner. To the near side, Wysocki. Heavy on the forecheck are the Eagles, as we see early and often in these games. Stonehill just trying to slow things down in their own defensive zone, looking for a lane out of there. They don't really get to it, but it's going to be a man-delayed penalty here. Hand was raised, so we'll have our first power play of the game. That's something you really don't want to see if you're Pat Bingham and crew. Stonehill, one of the most lethal power plays in the country this year. Looks like it's going to be Rowan Ringer going to the box for Post early on in this game. Power play percentage-wise, Stonehill, they lead the conference, 22.2%. By far the highest power play percentage in the entire conference. Meanwhile, on the penalty kill, hey, Post, good numbers there, 84.3% on the PK. That's second best in the Newhaw this year. They win the face-off, but they turn it over in their defensive zone. Now they try to clear it down the ice, and they do. Good heads-up play from Macy Peterson on the PK unit. For Post, it's Rose, Peterson, Angeline Pitter, and Karis Kale out there on the first penalty kill unit. See what Stonehill can do as they move it up the ice. Gracie Saka tries to move it farther in. Angeline Pitter cuts it off. Couldn't quite clear the zone. Madison Actil sends it into the slot. Now they go back up to the blue line. Feeney, makes a woman miss. Fell down to the ice. No penalty called. Catherine Caro. Back up towards the blue line. Sydney Russell looking and scanning. Now going the other way. Gracie Saka fanned on the pass back to Russell. Now for Caro. Back up the middle, but that pass gets intercepted. Jody Rose with a heads-up play. But once again, good job keeping it in from Sydney Russell. A one-time slap shot right into the glove of Hannah Saunders. Off the stick of Gracie Saka on the far side. 1:01 to go left in this power play for Stonehill College. Early stats so far. There's 5 shots on goal for Stonehill. Still none so far in this game for Post. Of course, being on the penalty kill doesn't help with that one. Face-off win for Stonehill in their offensive zone. They keep it in the blue line. Second unit on. Maeve Connolly was the intended recipient of that pass, but got intercepted. Post not able to clear. Stays in that far corner. See what Stonehill tries to set up here. Back towards the far boards. Now Maeve Connolly once again. Up towards the blue line. Spadone back to Connolly. Now into the slot. A good shot and deflected right into the padding. Another chance and it hits the side of the net. Hannah Saunders is down, but she's got back up to her feet. Scary moment there, but Stonehill couldn't quite get the shot on goal. 26 seconds left to go on the power play. Tie up in that near corner, trying to gather is Timmery Grom, sending it around the boards and just able to clear the zone. Almost taking it away that time was Jet Devlin. Couldn't quite do so. Back into the offensive zone goes Maeve Connolly. 10 seconds to go on the woman advantage. Once again, the puck back at neutral ice. One last entry on the power play. Regan Wynot sends it in, but it gets taken away, and we're back to even strength. Rowan Ringer out of the box immediately tries to force a turnover. Heavy collision there. She lost her stick. Nothing called, and now both sides getting a bit of a platoon swap. Back behind the netting, the puck goes. Hannah Saunders touches it up. Bank pass for Selena McKavicus as she skates it through neutral ice. Gets taken away. Good turnover, but once again, McKavicus just dumps it in deep. 12:57 left to go in this opening period of play. Post still looking to gather their offense. They have it in the offensive zone, but immediately a good turnover forced by Regan Wynot. Now here come the Skyhawks. They dump it back in. Just didn't quite have the numbers, so content to dump and change. McKavicus makes a woman miss. Past the blue line into the offensive zone. Wysocki trying to collect it off the boards. Gets taken away by Sydney Russell instead, and Russell clears the zone. I mentioned a bit earlier, so far, Stonehill 0 for 1 on the power play. They have the highest ranked power play in the Newhaw Conference this year. They don't have a whole lot of opportunities on the power play as well. This makes what they're doing on special teams even more impressive. if you're Post, you don't want to get in the habit of giving up too many penalties today. How about Macy Peterson? Good tip pass forward, but it ended up going on goal. Nice play design, just didn't quite work out. We'll have the face-off in the offensive zone for Post. Face-off-wise, Post does have the advantage, 4-2, as they do in most games. Julia Wysocki, one of the top face-off centers in the country. Can continue that with Tim Marie Grom and Jody Rose as well. They win a face-off there. The quick shot off the draw gets blocked. Angeline Pitter takes a shot, and that one blocked down by Eve Stone, and she covers up for the stoppage. 11:55 left in this first period. We'll have another face-off, and neither side changing lines here. Jody Rose and Maeve Connolly. Connolly wins that one. Stonehill breaking out of their defensive end. Ooh, a good up-ice pass, but Angeline Pitter skates all the way up, and we'll have another whistle here. Going to be a cross-checking penalty. I believe it's going to be called on Post. It is. Jody Rose is going to the box. So as aforementioned, Stonehill with their second power play chance of the game. First one, got 2 shots off by my count, 0 for 1 on the day. Once again, the top-ranked power play unit in the New Hawk coming out here in Shelton, Connecticut. See if the second-ranked penalty kill in the New Hawk can stand up again. Wysocki loses that face-off for Post, and Stonehill sets up offensively. Feeney to the far side. Back to Feeney. Gets tipped, and now Post almost able to clear. They do. Sydney Russell collects that neutral ice for Catherine Caro. Caro enters the offensive zone, but it gets taken away, and they're going to say it was played with a high stick. Face-off will come at neutral ice with 1:41 left to go on the power play. Power play opportunities-wise, this is only the 74th power play of the year for Stonehill College. That's the 8th most, meaning the last in the conference. Rowan Ringer breaks out shorthanded. Into the offensive zone she goes. Tips it forward to herself, but gets it taken away. On the far boards, Stonehill, now a cross-ice pass, intended for Gracie Saka, and Saka speeds past her woman, goes behind the net, the wraparound try not there, another opportunity, beautiful save from Hannah Saunders. The best chance of the game so far for Stonehill gets denied. Hannah Saunders, mentioned her a bit in the pregame show. What a season she is having, the junior from Ontario. Oh, good offensive zone turnover from Post, but only temporarily as Stonehill recollects. Less than a minute to go on the power play. Through neutral ice and into the offensive zone is Maeve Connolly. Gets tied up hard by Angeline Pitter. Good play by her defensively, but it goes back out to Spadone. Her shot gets blocked into the far corner. Now back behind the netting. That was Josie Mendezoon. Now Connolly. Dancing towards the blue line, leaves it for Spadone. Spadone driving towards the net, takes a tough angled shot, but it gets blocked. No one able to collect the rebound. Finally, Post does, and they clear it all the way down the ice. Get a platoon swap with less than 30 seconds on the penalty kill. Through neutral ice go the Skyhawks. Mendezoon leaves it for Geist. Geist tries to collect, but that pass left just too far. Post sends it the other way. Collected at neutral ice. Regan Wynot. Past the red line, banks it into the offensive zone, but no one's there to have it, and we're back at even strength. So good penalty killing so far. Not a whole lot of opportunities. One really dangerous one for Stonehill on that power play, but they move to 0 for 2 in this first period. Puck tied up behind the netting. Jet Devlin tries to collect it, chips it forward. Played with a high stick. Rowan Ringer can't touch it. Stonehill touches up, and will play on. Long up ice pass, gets tipped, so no icing will be called. Karis Kell back behind her net. We haven't seen Post really set up a whole lot of great breakout plays so far in this game. We'll see if that changes. They tried the up ice pass, said it got tipped, so no icing. 9:01 to go, and here come the Eagles on their forecheck. You know, they get heavy on it. They force the turnover. Rowan Ringer with a shot, and that one gloved down by Eve Stone. Best opportunity of the game for Post, and it comes off that first line for the Eagles. Rowan Ringer, another tremendous freshman out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. 9 goals, 13 assists, conference lead, 22 points this year. As that takes us to our first media timeout. 8:52 to go left in this first period. Still scoreless between the Skyhawks and the Eagles. It'll be an offensive zone faceoff for the Eagles to the left of Eve Stone. Just under 9 minutes left in this first period, still scoreless. Big faceoff win for the Skyhawks there. Now let's see if they can set something up, but we've seen most of the Eagles' chances come off of the forecheck, like right there. They send it back towards neutral ice. Karis Kale collects, enters the offensive zone, but has it taken away. Sydney Russell makes a few people miss, but once again, it's a good offensive zone turnover. Only temporarily. Gracie Saka back up the ice she goes, dumps it in. To collect, Danny Amon. Saka picks it up herself in a big collision around the boards, but it looked mostly incidental. No penalties called. Cross-ice pass, intended for Tristan Curry. She couldn't handle it cleanly. Puck gets dumped into the offensive zone, and Stonehill will come the other way with it. Haven't seen the most action so far in this game. It's been a bit of a defensive pairing. But a good turnover for the Eagles there. Driving behind the net. Couldn't quite see who it was and still tied up. It's going to be a hand pass ruled there, so we'll have another whistle and a face-off at neutral ice. So far in this game, 8-2 the shots on goal total in favor of Stonehill College. 12 shots total as opposed to 4 shots for Post University. And, well, not a big part of that. The face-off, 7-4 in favor of Post. So you wouldn't really expect them to be as dominant offensively as they are, especially with the face-off totals. But, hey, that's hockey. Stonehill moves it in, but Angeline Pitter collects it. Now Ruby Mitchell sends it back to neutral ice. This has been the Stonehill strategy, dump and chase, really relying on their speed to try to get into the offensive zone and set up their play. Ooh, big body check that time from Ruby Mitchell. Almost forced a turnover, but not quite. Stonehill still has possession, now resetting things in their own zone. Catherine Caro sends it in. Hannah Saunders touches up. And Post just content to send it around the boards, try to clear. Regan Wynot keeps it in, but only temporarily. And now Van den Oudelaar chasing after it along the far boards. She has it, trying to send it up the boards, but once again, good job by Stonehill, really keeping the puck just in the offensive zone, out of danger. Wysocki tries the bank pass behind the netting. Still a tie-up for it and a real battle for that puck. It ends up going Stonehill's way. Pass into the slot and a cover-up. Hannah Saunders trying to cover up and a couple of bodies flying towards the net. A few extracurriculars. But Sanders with a beautiful save, a beautiful setup from Stonehill College. The shot coming off the stick of Catherine Caro. 6:32 to go left in this first period. Still scoreless. Face-off, big defensive zone win for Post. Danny Amons has it. Sends it for McCavicus. Now McCavicus fans on the pass, tries to pick it up herself, couldn't quite do so. Now Stonehill willing to reset in their defensive zone. Big turnover there and a hand raised. I believe Rowan Ringer is going to be called for a penalty here. It's going to be interference. Actually, it's going to be Regan, why not, excuse me? So the other way, it'll be Post going on their first power play of the game. Regan, why not with an interference penalty? And a big opportunity for Post University. Get you the numbers on their power play unit. They're fourth in the conference at 13.4% on the power play. Meanwhile, for Stonehill, 84% on the penalty kill. That's good for third in the Newha. Big defensive zone win. They clear it all the way down the ice and get some seconds off of that power play. The unit out there for Post, it's Danny Amons with the puck. She's joined alongside Julia Wysocki, Angeline Pitter, Rowan Ringer. I believe that's Selena McCavicus all the way out towards the far boards. Post not able to enter the offensive zone cleanly there, and that's actually going to be whistled down for offsides. Minute 34 left on the power play, 5:52 left to go in the period. Saw Stonehill go 0 for 2 on their 2 power plays today, the highest ranked power play in the conference. Another face-off win for the Skyhawks. They send it all the way back down the ice. Hannah Saunders will touch it up. Karis Kale breaks out of her defensive zone, sends it to the other side of the ice for Macy Peterson. Peterson, drop-off pass, back to Peterson, but the pass couldn't go. Sienna Spadone picks it up, swings it around the boards. Brooke Larson kept it in. Karis Kale on those far boards, a tie-up for the puck. Not a whole lot of help coming in there from either side. Right now, Kale's only job is just keep it in the zone, and she does. Jody Rose sends it towards the net, kicked away by Eve Stone. Along the far corner, and really Post having a hard time getting set up, getting the puck towards center ice in their offensive zone. 40 seconds to go on this power play and ticket. With a good amount of speed, Karis Kale leaves it to the other side. Looks like Macy Peterson was getting ready for a change and wasn't quite expecting that puck. And a turnover here. Good opportunity for Caro, and a good back check there from Jody Rose to prevent a great shot on goal. Caro still got it off, but it wasn't the hardest save opportunity for Hannah Saunders. And just like that, only 15 seconds left on the power play opportunity for Post. Really not a whole lot going on. Only one shot by my count. And even that one shot wasn't much of a test for Eve Stone. One last entry into the zone. And we're back at even strength. Coming the other way now. Stonehill trying to start something of their own. Puck gets stopped at neutral ice. Another battle for it. All the way back down towards the netting of Eve Stone. And Stonehill will reset things. 4:02 left in this first period. You can see Riley Patfield of Post heavy on the forecheck there, trying to make Stonehill uncomfortable. End up collecting it in their own zone. It's Sejal Desai, first time we've said her name so far tonight. Can expect with the importance of this game and the standings for both sides, you're going to see a lot of the top 2 lines out there tonight, especially on the forward groupings. That's been the case for Post, especially early in this game. Up the ice, Josie Mendezoon. Gets around a defender there and actually retains the puck around the near corner. Almost gets tied up. She sends it deeper to the far corner. Ruby Mitchell tries to collect it. Stays in the offensive zone with the offensive team. From the far blue line, a good deflection and a good save from Saunders. Originally off the stick of Sydney Russell. Might have been Mendezoon herself who deflected it into the padding of Saunders. And nice job by Saunders staying with it. 3:16 to go in this first period. Wysocki wins the faceoff for Post. Amons collects it behind her net, but now you're seeing Stonehill go heavy on the forecheck. They send it all the way down the ice. Rowan Ringer racing after it, and they're going to rule that an icing. Boy, that was a neck-and-neck race going the other way. Ringer gave it all her effort. But tie goes to the runner, and in that case, tie goes to the defensive player. With 3:05 to go, it'll be the same players on the ice. Wysocki versus Mendezoon in the faceoff circle to the right of Hannah Saunders. It's going to be a win for Stonehill, but Post will end up with possession. Amons, the bank pass off the boards. Ooh, a hard check. Good hit that time. That was Sarah Taylor laying the hit on Selena McCavicus. McCavicus has to wait for her teammate to get on the side. She does. Now they move into the offensive zone, but immediately turn it over. Bailey Feeney takes it away. Gets back on her stick, moving through neutral ice. Feeney going to be content to just dump it in. Not really a line change. A couple players get off the ice, but not a full platoon swap. And now you can see Stonehill on the forecheck. Post trying to break out. Wysocki all by herself into the offensive zone. Dekes it between the legs and makes a woman miss. Now drives behind the net into the slot, but the pass couldn't connect. Intended for McCavikis, Maeve Connolly took it away. Almost intercepted by Macy Peterson that time. Peterson going heavy on defense here, driving all the way behind the net. Stonehill slowing it down. Brooke Larson had it on her stick, but it gets taken away by Peyton Weiss. Weiss through the offensive zone back towards the blue line. Now back behind the netting. Down low, Maeve Connolly couldn't quite handle the pass. Selena McCavikis right there, and they're tied up in the far corner. Less than 2 minutes to go in this first period. Not a whole lot of offensive actions, a hard-nosed defensive game so far. Jody Rose looked like she mishandled that pass, but recovered pretty quickly. The pass from Macy Peterson gets taken away, and offsides ruled. Peyton Wise just couldn't quite get back on sides before that pass with 1:24 to go. Three other games around the Newha Conference today. We'll get you the scores for those in just a few moments. Each game really important. We are doing a bit of scoreboard watching today. Stonehill through neutral ice. Lucy Turcotte through the legs of a defender, but it gets taken away by Sajal Desai. Desai leaves it for Pitter, and Pitter gets tied up on the near corners. Puck bounces along the near boards all the way into the offensive zone of Post. Will be collected by the Skyhawks as they'll reset things. Less than a minute left in this first period. Ooh, good offensive zone turnover forced by the Eagles. Tim-Marie Grom sends it into the slot. No one there to handle the pass. Angeline Pitter at the blue line. Back towards the right wing. A good shot on goal. Gets gloved down that time by Eve Stone. Only the third or fourth time she's been tested this period. 40 seconds to go. Puck still in the defensive zone of Stonehill. Tim-Marie Grom sends it in a bit deeper. Tries to retain possession, but she's getting tied up. Now McCavikis has it. Try to send it into the slot. Ringer has it on her stick. Now for Wysocki, driving towards the net. Wysocki takes the shot right into the chest. Another opportunity. No signal yet, and Eve Stone covers it up. 13.5 seconds to go left in this first period, and the best couple of chances for Post. The most energy we've seen of this first period as of late. Wysocki with a couple of back-to-back tries. Pat Bingham keeping his first line out there for the last 15 seconds or so. Face-off win for Stonehill, but Ringer recovers it. Sends it to the far corner here. Less than 7 seconds to go, and this most likely will do it for this first period of play. Skyhawks look like they're content to just waste down the clock, and that'll do it. All knotted up at zeros after 20 minutes here in this first period. Statistically, 12 shots on goal for Stonehill, a dominant offensive period. They had most of the possession time in the offensive zone, only 4 shots on goal for Post. But if you're Post, you have one of the top netminders in the country, and Hannah Saunders stood up strong in that first period of play. It's still scoreless. We'll see you in 15 minutes as you're watching Post University Athletics.
Hi, my name is Charlotte French, and I'm here with Hannah Saunders from the Post hockey team, their goalie. And we're talking about today her experience with playing on Team Lebanon's national ice hockey team and ball hockey team. Let's talk about a little bit about your experience with Team Lebanon. Like, how did you end up playing for them, and how was your experience with that?
Well, I got recruited, I think, in like 2018. It's been kind of a bit. It was kind of word of mouth because the program was quite new. They had like a men's team for quite a bit, I want to say, and they were just developing this new women's program. And one of my friends that I had previously played on just like a juniors team with, she was also Lebanese, and so she kind of reached out to me, hey, I think they're looking for girls. And they obviously needed a goalie, so they kind of reached out, and that's kind of how it all started. It was very, very new, So it was kind of cool to be part of like the opening process and seeing where like it's been going and like how it's been doing so far. And yeah, like ever since it started, we've been doing a couple of different like tournaments. We went to France, I think in like before COVID, so maybe like before early 2020. And we played against like the France national U18 team, and that was actually really cool. It's a great experience. It's overall just a great opportunity. I mean, I'm seeing where it takes me. It's in the works still, and we've had a change in coaching staff, and it's been going well.
Awesome. Talk to me a little bit more about how it's been playing for a growing program. What do you think that you've brought to the team in order to grow that
Yeah,
sport?
I mean, it's similar to what I'm kind of experiencing, I'd say, here at Post, because this is also relatively new of a program. It's just such a privilege to be able to like surround yourself with girls who are so motivated to make some change, especially to represent my Lebanese roots. So I'm half Lebanese. My mom is from Lebanon, so that's how I obviously got approval to play. And it's been, again, it's just such an honor, really, to be able to represent it, to play globally and see where it takes me around the world. And yeah, it's just to make my mom proud is obviously a really nice feeling. And yeah, just playing and representing that country is really special.
You also play for the ball hockey team. Is that the same recruitment, or did you get...
Yeah. Relatively similar. So that started even more recently. And funny enough, one of my like assistant coaches from the ice hockey program created that. So we just got recruited from the initial like ice hockey team. So it was kind of just picking who was interested in trying out ball hockey. And I had never played before, like, I think it's like my third year playing. And that took us to the World's competition in Montreal, I think back in 2022. And it's been kind of cool. I mean, I never even knew there was such a big like sporting event for that. But it's the same concept, really, just representing Lebanon and having a bunch of friends like explore the world and be able to like play international teams. And ball hockey is incredibly fun. And as a goalie, it's pretty much the same game, I guess, like obviously without the ice, but it's been really helpful. So just for my development as a goalie for here, because like you get to work on your reflexes. It's a different kind of game. So kind of similar though. Yeah.
You touched on the dynamic of working with your teammates about, in a growing program. Touch a little bit more on that and how you really jived with your teammates.
Yeah, it's honestly special when you're just surrounded by a group of girls that automatically connect. I feel like it's sometimes not that common where you just start like feeling like a family right away. And I feel like for the Lebanese teams, both of them, it's kind of such a fun dynamic because we're all, I think, around the same age, especially like university level players, both from Canada and the US mainly. And it's just like, they're like my sisters now. Like they're so fun and friendly and full of life. And it's just like starting something so monumental for a country like Lebanon is so special. So that in itself bonds us together. Mm-hmm. And so being able to grow with them, I've made lifelong friends. So I'm really excited as to where we're going to head in the future.
Did you face any challenges while you played for both teams at all?
Not many challenges, I'd say. I think it's a lot of patience. You kind of have to accept that it's a growing process. It's going to take time, obviously, to develop fully. I think recently the challenge has been balancing my like university life with that as well, because obviously playing here for Post is such a privilege too that I'm trying to balance both out. And like there's certain tournaments I have missed from the Lebanese side, especially the ice hockey team, just because it is obviously a winter sport, so it falls in the same season. So I'd say for me that's kind of a challenge, like prioritizing both. But otherwise it's really like, I think I'm used to it by now, just the patience and learning and growing as I'm also, developing with this program and growing as an individual. And it's kind of cool that I'm growing up as it's also like producing, because I started fairly young. So, but yeah, I'd say overall challenges would just be that, really, just being able to balance both and figure out what I can miss and what I can't miss. Yeah. But yeah.
Does the ice hockey season and the ball hockey season happen at the same time, or are
No,
they different?
Luckily not. Usually ball hockey's during the summer, so that's perfect for me because I'm back home. And yeah, for the most part, it's been good that way. I think the world tournament we attended was I think like early summer. I think it was June. So that also I was out of school and everything. So that's quite good. And then for the ice hockey, when we went to France, that was also in the summer. But ever since, I think they've focused on more winter tournaments, just because obviously it makes more sense. It's a winter sport.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been good that way.
You mentioned that you made it to the World Championship for ball hockey. How was that?
Oh my gosh, it was so special. We obviously didn't make it to the finals because we're very, very young, little program. But just playing against Team Canada and Team USA and seeing the women who have worked so hard to get to where they're at, it was like insane. It felt so surreal. I honestly kind of felt out of place. I felt so young, but it just, I learned so much from just watching them. And it's just the amount of dedication they put to that sport, or just enjoying, and the passion they have for it. It's just like, it's so inspirational. And it kind of drives me to get to that level at one point when I graduate university and know that there's still a future in sport for me.
What is your favorite part about playing for both Lebanon ice hockey and ball hockey?
That's a tough question because it's also amazing. I feel like just being able to represent my mom's family, I think, is the most special thing about it, because yeah, I feel like hockey's such like a North American sport. It's, you don't really hear, I mean, obviously there's the Olympics and you see those teams, but there's never been Lebanon within that group. And it's definitely a little country that's so special and in my heart because my family's from there. And so just making them proud and seeing what is happening in terms of hockey growing there, because it's such like, you wouldn't really expect it from a hot country like that. But yeah, just surrounding myself with girls that are also experiencing the same pride. And just like, it's a joy to just represent each of our families.
You talked a lot about how playing for both teams has improved you as an athlete. How has it affected you as a person as well?
It's just a lot of growth, honestly. Just being grounded and appreciating my roots even more, because I get to learn more about where I'm from and where my family's from. And yeah, it's just like hockey has taught me so much in general, both ball hockey and regular hockey. It's just a lot of time management skills to be able to balance everything in life, but also just enjoy the little moments. It's been great for me, and honestly, I can't really picture myself without them.
What are you looking forward to in the future playing for both teams?
Literally everything they have to offer. For the national hockey team, like the ice hockey team, we're hoping maybe in the future, well, I mean, the Olympics is the end goal, but that'll take time because there's different pools and stuff, and you have to obviously get to that level and kind of grow the game. But if I get to be a part of it, that'll be kind of a miracle in itself. And for ball hockey, again, it's just competing in those world tournaments and just seeing where it can take me and making my parents proud. Yeah.
Awesome. Is there anything else you want to say about playing for either team?
That I'm just really lucky. I'm very grateful for all the opportunities that have come my way, and I'm just excited to keep going.
Thank you, Hannah, so much for joining us.
Thanks.
Welcome back into the Sports Center of Connecticut. We're just about a minute away, maybe even a little less, from the start of this second period between the Stonehill College Skyhawks and Post University Eagles. All scoreless after one period of play so far. Take a look at some of the stats. Shots on goal, 12-4 in favor of the visitors. Both teams 0 for on the power play. 0 for 2 are the Skyhawks. 0 for 1 are the Eagles. 10-9 face-off wins in favor of Stonehill, actually, so they really gathered that up towards the end of the periods. Meanwhile, blocks are at 2 aside so far. So a fairly even period, but definitely Stonehill with the advantage, mostly in the offensive zone, or the defensive zone of Post University, I should say. And I took a quick look around the scoreboard of the Newha Conference in between periods, and it's not looking great if you're an Eagles fan. It makes this game all the more important. We'll give you some more details on that to come. Maeve Connolly's ready. Julia Wysocki's ready. Referees are almost ready. Fans making some noise, players making some noise, and we're underway for this middle period of play here in Shelton. Eagles immediately win the face-off, dump it into the offensive zone, and you need to see more of that if you're Pat Bingham and crew right away. Not a whole lot of offensive zone possession time, as early in the period a turnover there, but didn't quite cost the Eagles quickly. See if they can set something up. Through neutral ice goes Julia Wysocki, makes her way around Barrett. Wysocki towards the net. The backhander just slides through the crease. I don't know if Eve Stone got a piece of that or not. It looked like it might have just been a tough angle for Wysocki. Almost a really good turnover forced by Rowan Ringer, but here come the Skyhawks. Into the offensive zone, Peyton Wise stops, turns around, looking for someone to pass it to, and decides to just dump it in. Karis Kell collect for the Eagles going the other way. Post and Kale couldn't quite clear the zone. Not the greatest pass there from Stonehill, and they can't quite keep it in. Post will recollect. Rose tries an up-ice pass, couldn't quite get there. Now Noah Farberman has it on her stick. Rowan Ringer gets tied up at center ice and actually gets taken down to the ice. Now Bailey Feeney, the star of the Stonehill Skyhawks, tied for the conference league in points with 2 Post Eagles. Julia Wysocki and Rowan Ringer. Send it in deep for Feeney once again in that far corner. She whiffed on the pass, but it ended up going into the slot. Shot got blocked, never quite hit the netting, and here come Post. Karis Kale sends it towards the net, gets kicked aside easily that time by Eve Stone. It'll count as a shot on goal, but not much of a test there. Eagles having a really hard time entering the offensive zone. That neutral ice defense of Stonehill is stout early in this game, and it's continuing to be so early in the second period. Although Jody Rose speeds past the defender, tries to collect it in the near corner, but gets tied up. Still a fight for the puck. No one really has possession yet. Macy Peterson battling for Post. Ends up going Stonehill's way. Now it's Gracie Saka through neutral ice, and she dumps it in. Post looking to set up some offense. Can't even clear the zone, or they do so but barely. Looked like Riley Patfield got tripped down to the ice pretty hard there. Nothing called. Regan Wynot tries a bang pass into the offensive zone. Goes back behind the netting of Hannah Saunders. No icing called. Said that a defender must have touched it somewhere. Almost 3 minutes gone in this first period. Not a whole lot of action. Same to the first period. It's been a mostly defensive game. Stonehill trying to keep it in, and they do. That was Lily Geist able to keep it at the blue line and then send it in deep. Good body check that time from an Eagle. Trying to get it out of the defensive zone. But a bunch of bodies are just kind of falling all over the place early in this period. Now back into the offensive zone. Gracie Saka takes the shot. Blockered aside by Saunders. A rebound chance hit the side of the net. Boy, best chances of the second period so far for either side. Another long opportunity, and Saunders got a piece of that one. Hannah Saunders continuing to stay strong in between the netting. 5 shutouts so far this year. That looked like it was a penalty, and down goes to the ice. We'll have the third power play of the game for Stonehill College. It'll be a tripping penalty, and we'll see who actually goes to the box. Right now, looks like it'll be Angeline Pitter. Nope. Actually, I stand corrected on that. It'll be Macy Peterson. 0 for 2 on the power play so far is Stonehill. Highest power play by percentage in the New Conference at 22% entering today. Scored a power play goal in last night's game as well. That actually brought it to a 2-1 game. But immediately shorthanded Rowan Ringer into the offensive zone for Post University. Looking for somewhere to go with the puck. It ends up just shooting it straight into the defender, Sydney Russell. 14-on-14 crime. With 1:45 left to go in this power play opportunity. Stonehill looking to break out. And we've seen just that from Post this year. Julia Wysocki, an aggressively forced turnover. A beautiful forecheck from her. And ends up wasting some more time off the power play. Now 30 seconds gone on the man advantage. Good check as they enter the offensive zone, but couldn't quite clear it, could Post. And now Stonehill's looking to get set up. Sydney Russell tried to go across the ice. Her pass got blocked. Now a battle for it in that far corner. It's Van den Udelaar, but ends up going to Bailey Feeney. Good job by, I believe that was Rowan Ringer once again. No, excuse me, that was actually Riley Patfield who was able to get her stick in there and block that one, forcing Stonehill to reset. Smart play by Hannah Saunders to just cover that one up after the long up ice pass. 52 seconds left to go on the power play. Only one shot on goal in this opportunity so far for Stonehill. This is not unusual for Post. They do have the third highest ranked penalty kill in the New Conference. We've seen throughout the year they stay aggressive on the penalty kill. As you can see it right off the faceoff, trying to get all up in the face of the people towards the blue line. Stonehill tried to pass into the slot, but Lily Geist just couldn't handle that one cleanly. Back into the near corner it goes. Stonehill with possession. Peyton Wise just sends it around the boards deep behind the netting. Battle for it behind the net of Saunders. Back out into the slot. A good opportunity, but the shot gets blocked. Puck is still loose, bouncing around in front of the netting. No one has possession, and Stonehill handles it down. Peyton Wise with a tough shot flies over the netting. Don't believe it even hit a body. I think that one was just not the best aim. Back at neutral ice, trying to enter the offensive zone of the Skyhawks. Brooke Larson couldn't quite handle it in front of her own net. Puck trickles out back towards the blue line. Now behind the netting of Saunders. She looked to cover it up for a quick second, but couldn't do so. Now she's wildly out of position. Ends up recovering before there's any type of danger as the puck was staying around the boards in the defensive zone. We're back at even strength. But still Stonehill just trying to retain possession. 14 minutes left to go in this second period of play. The puck all the way around, and that should be an icing. And it will. 14:07 left in this second period. Let's take a look around the New Conference at some of the scores. The big one for Post was the game between Assumption University and St. Anselm College, where St. Anne's ended up winning that one 4-3. That's not great news for Post. You really would have liked Assumption to come out with an upset there for the standings. But again, St. Anne's gets the 2 points there in regulation. Sacred Heart is ahead of St. Michael's 2-1 after 2 periods of play. And Franklin Pierce leading Long Island University 1-0 after 2 periods of play as well. So really that Franklin Pierce game, you want to go the other way, and as well as that St. Anne's game you hope went the other way, but not your luck today for Post University. It makes this game all the more important. Trying to get the puck out of their defensive zone are the Eagles. Brooke Larson has it now. A little bang pass up the ice, but intercepted before it could get out of the defensive zone. Mia Kenmore takes a tough shot. That one kicked away by Saunders. Battle for it in the far corner. 2 Eagles and 2 Skyhawks in there. Looks like Harris Kale from a distance for Post University, the main Eagle there, and it goes her way. Once again, the Skyhawks having a great defensive game so far, keeping the puck in their offensive zone. Post unable to clear once again, but a whistle blown. Maybe some sort of penalty or some sort of, might have said deflected out of play, so we'll have a face-off at neutral ice. 13:22 in the second period. Both sides getting a platoon swap in. Jody Rose wins the face-off for the Eagles, but immediately they turn it over at neutral ice. Maeve Connolly tries to collect it. Can't do it the cleanest, just sends it back. Sarah Taylor dumped it in. Hannah Saunders collects it. Looking for a lane to pass to Peterson, and once again just unable to clear the defensive zone. Now a good opportunity from the slot, deflected wide of the netting. That shot came off of Maeve Connolly's stick. Post gets it out of there, only temporarily, trying to reset things at neutral ice, and here they come. Jody Rose lost it. That's going to be whistled down for offsides. Rose tried to baseball slide her way back on sides, but couldn't get there in time with 12:45 to go. .22 shots in this game as opposed to 11 for Post, and that's 15 shots on goal for Stonehill as opposed to 5 for the Eagles. So really one-sided affair so far despite no score. Gracie Saka tries to enter the offensive zone, gets checked hard. Good defensive play. Taking a look who it was, looks like it was Riley Patfield laying her body out. Now a pass for Rowan Ringer. She's moving up the ice and she gets taken down hard. Penalty called. Delayed penalty, goalie goes to the net, whistle is blown. And for the second time today, Post will have a power play. I believe that's Rowan Ringer down in the far corner. Let's hope she's okay. Her line mates, Wysocki and Mikavakis, running out there to check on her. We'll have the second power play of the game for Post University. Penalty assessed to Lily Barrett. Barrett, the second line defender, junior at a Little Canada, Canada, I should say. So it's Rowan Ringer. Good to see she's on the ice. She takes a tough angled shot, and Stone gloves that one down. Couldn't quite control the rebound. Danny Amons has it at the near boards. Post trying to keep it in, send it in deep, couldn't do so. Goes all the way back down to the other end of the ice, wastes some time off the power play opportunity. Post had one chance in the first period, got one shot on goal by my count. Now with 1:30 left, they re-enter the offensive zone. Along the near boards, this is Mikavakis fighting for it. Ringer in there to help with her. Puck just not moving a whole lot over there. Finally it does. Wysocki, she slams one, but it doesn't quite, I believe it got deflected actually before it hit the net. Eve Stone was able to block it, pass into the slot. Shot off target there, off the stick of Mikavakis. 11:26 left in this second period, 1:05 to go on the power play. Trying to keep it in the zone is Post, and they do so. Wysocki at the slot. She takes the shot, and Eve Stone has that one right into her chest with 57 seconds left on the man advantage. Both sides going to their second unit, penalty kill and power play unit. That was a good-looking first unit for Post. Took up about a minute of time and got 2 shots on goal. It's Rose, Peterson, Farberman, Larson, and Van den Udelar out there for the Eagles. It's on video stick right now. In this near corner, across. Now a one-time opportunity kicked out by Eve Stone. Udelar collects the rebound. VDO for Larson. Now to the slot, back to Larson. Larson with another slap shot. She collects the rebound. Van den Udelar takes a wrister, and that one gets blockered down. Battle for the rebound and covered up by Eve Stone. Boy, a very good power play so far. Both units getting a couple of shots off on each side, and Eve Stone having to stand on her head for the first time tonight. Stone, the junior out of North Pelarsia. See, that's the town I struggled with on the PA announcement as well, Massachusetts. Only playing in her 5th game this year. Larson tried a shot, I believe it got blocked by her own teammate. Van den Udelar with a wrister, and once again, that one gloved in by Stone. You're more than okay with this if you're Pat Bingham and crew. The puck's staying in the offensive zone on this power play. You're getting a bunch of plays off the faceoffs. Faceoffs have been a pretty big advantage for Post throughout the season and remains the case today, although not by a major margin. They switch back to their first unit power play, Ringer, Wysocki, and Mikavakis. They win the faceoff once again, back to Larson. Now VDO. Across for Larson, down into the slot for Ringer. Ringer has it stick checked, battle in the corner with 15 seconds to go. Ringer into the slot. Close range shot covered up by Stone once again. 5-on-4, Post University with their best opportunities today. Now with 9 seconds to go, they'll switch over once again, change lines. Different defensive pairing now on the power play for Post. It's Sajal Desai and Karis Kale. Face off to the left of Eve Stone. Stonehill wins it, but Post retains possession. Mikavicus battling for it. Now Ringer goes back behind the blue line, clear down the ice, and that will be it on the power play. Both teams 0-4, still scoreless in this game. Post 0-2 now. Hard collision right at the blue line of the Stonehill offensive zone. Puck goes all the way back down to the other end of the ice. No icing ruled as they say it touched a Stonehill defender. Heavy on the forecheck is the Post, but now breaking out of the defensive zone, McKenna Slocum. Almost has it taken away by Karis Kale. Kale does take it away, but gets recovered by Stonehill. Now to the far side. Moving up the ice, Brianna Walcom with a beautiful shot. She scores! Brianna Walcom breaks the ice. It's 1-0 Stonehill. A turnover at neutral ice for the Eagles. Found Stonehill on a 2-on-1 breakaway, and Brianna Walcom, the fourth line center, was able to net it home. Her first goal of the season. Her sixth goal of her career, and the junior from Moon Township, Pennsylvania. Makes it a 1-0 game for the visitors. Battle for it between Madison Actil, and right here as well, it's going to be Macy Peterson kind of hitting each other back and forth on the sticks before the face-off. Either way, Stonehill wins the face-off, and now working with a 1-0 lead. The puck, they dump it into their offensive zone. It was a really good-looking power play for Post University. It just ended, and the second it got back to even strength, well, Stonehill was dominant in the offensive zone. That'll be a penalty. At least I think it will be, or they might have said it might have gone out of play, actually. Looked like Jody Rose got tripped up pretty hard there. And nothing called either way. So 9:24 left to go in this second period. The first goal of the game, the first goal of the season, coming off the stick of Brianna Walcom, makes it a 1-0 game in favor of Stonehill. .24 left to go in this second period. A 1-0 game in favor of Stonehill. Fifth to last game of the season for both of these sides. A crucial game between the fourth place and the sixth place team in the New Hawk Conference standings. Only 8 points separate these two. But right now, it's the 1 point in this game that's separating Stonehill and Brianna Walcom, netting her first of the season. Eagles just trying to get it out of their defensive zone, having a hard time doing that today. Hand is raised, penalty called. Looks like we might have an interference penalty called on Madison Actil. And for the second time in only about 3 or 4 minutes, Post University will go on the power play. Actil called for interference at 10:54 in the second period. So Post 0 for 2, but that last power play, there was a lot to like on it. They got 3 or 4 shots off on that unit, and both units, for that matter, got multiple shots off. Send it back for Karis Kale. Almost gets taken away. Shorthanded try. An aggressive play defensively for Stonehill. That was Bailey Feeney trying to take it away on the faceoff. Maybe a little setup play to lose the faceoff and force a turnover. Now Stonehill just retaining possession. Already 15 seconds gone off the power play opportunity, and they do just send it down the ice. Post will reset. Both teams' penalty kills have been very strong in this series, including last night. Stonehill did get 1 power play goal last night. And so far, both teams have not been able to break through on the power play yet today. You can see right now Post having a hard time entering their zone. Most of their offensive setups did come off the draw on the last power play chance. And hey, you got to be okay with that. Just send it towards the net and you'll have the faceoff to the left of Eve Stone in the offensive zone. 8 minutes, 19 seconds left in this second period. 1-0 lead for Stonehill. We'll give you the period-specific stats in just a moment. Looking to see the unit that Lee J. Marasolo and Stonehill is sending out there. Looks like Sydney Russell will be out there defensively as part of the penalty kill. Face-off win for the Skyhawks, a big important win for them. They send it back behind their netting and try to clear the zone. Russell does send it all the way down the ice. Be Angeline Pitter to recollect. And again, aggressive play. Even short-handed, Stonehill going all the way back behind the netting of post to try to make a play. That's number 9. That's Catherine Cara. I was almost about to say Lucy Turcott. That's 19, I should have said. But either way, aggressive play. Stonehill has the puck and short-handed once again, just wasting time off the power play. Danny Amons has it. Looking to set something up. Rowan Ringer moving up the ice, but Amons gets it taken away from her before she can really make the pass. Now Hannah Squires has it. Aggressive play from McKavakis. Couldn't quite finish the check, but ends up in the offensive zone, and Post does have temporary possession. Battle for it. Danny Amons is there. McKavakis as well. Amons does have it on her stick and sends it deep. Ringer tries to collect it. Couldn't make the turn cleanly. And able to keep it in his Post. Now a long shot. Hit a body before it hit the net. Clears the defensive zone, and that's going to do it on the power play. 0 for 2 in the period, 0 for 3 on the game are the Eagles. Now a really aggressive play. Maeve Connolly able to take the puck away from Hannah Saunders. Once again, only for a quick second. Connolly has it on her stick. Gets it poke checked into the corner. Tries a pass into the slot. Hit a couple of bodies. Never hit any sticks. Back into these near boards. Danny Amons couldn't intercept the pass cleanly. Puck goes behind the netting of Saunders. Hard check into the boards. Bailey Feeney went down onto the ice. Puck not moving a whole lot. Directly behind Hannah Saunders. Bit of a tough angle for a goalie if you're trying to see what's going on there to her left. Julia Wysocki does take it away. Ends up getting it to her teammate. Fans want a penalty and the hand is raised. They'll get one. Saunders goes to the net. And man, for the third time in the last 5 minutes, Post will have an opportunity with a woman advantage. Really third time in the last 8 minutes, I should say. But not a whole lot of 5-on-5 ice time so far in this second period. Penalty will get assessed to Josie Mendezun. So it's Jody Rose, Macy Peterson, Noah Farberman out there for Post as the forward grouping. They win the faceoff. Now VDO. Van den Oeler with a long shot looking for the deflection. Farberman was there. Actually, that was Peterson who deflected that one into the netting. Back out towards the blue line. Brooke Larson takes a long wrister, and that one stopped by Eve Stone. Stone with a couple of saves early in this power play unit. The last power play, no shots on goal for Post. They still have the puck in the offensive zone, gets taken away, and now Stonehill does clear it down the ice. About 30 seconds gone on the man advantage. No change yet for the unit for Post. Keeping with that second unit. Now Rowan Ringer is on the ice, actually. Brooke Larson dumps it in deep, and the rest of the Eagles do change over to that first unit. Trying to move up the ice with some speed. Julia Wysocki, the star of this Eagles group, leading the conference in points. Gets around one defender, sends it back deep behind the netting for McKavakis, brings it back out to the blue line. Danny Amons across for Van den Oedelau. Down low for Ringer. And Ringer tried one in the slot, got blocked. Ringer again, and that one hit a body before it hit the net. Pitter keeps it in the offensive zone. Once again, Ringer has it on her stick. Another try, and that one kicked away by Stone, and it clears the zone. 35 seconds to go on the power play. Angeline Pitter goes back to recollect. We're going to have it. Actually, we're going to say it was played with a high stick. So we'll have a whistle and a neutralized face-off. Exactly 30 seconds left on the fourth power play opportunity of the game. A combined 0 for 7 are these teams. And the face-off will actually back over to the net of Hannah Saunders. For Stonehill, it's Gracie Saka, Hannah Squires, Regan Wynot, and Bailey Feeney, the penalty kill unit out there. I believe that's the first unit. Ooh, a big tie-up off the draw. It does clear the defensive zone of post, but Stonehill has possession, and they're more than happy to just try to waste time off the power play. Maybe one last push for the Eagles if they can set it up quickly enough. Less than 5 minutes to go in this second period. Into the offensive zone, Wysocki driving towards the net, swings it around and looks for a man in the slot, but no one was there. Driving towards the net, Kale tried a one-time opportunity. Great defensive play there from Gracie Saka to not allow the shot on goal. Now Wysocki leaves it out into the slot. No shot on goal yet. Puck is still loose, and Mikavakis has it on her stick. She chips one easily right into the glove of Eve Stone, and a couple of grade A chances. Not a whole lot of shots on goal for the Eagles there, 5-on-5. Gotta give a shout out to Gracie Saka for that beautiful defensive play. It was a great setup. Post looking for the one-time chance right through the crease of Eve Stone, and Saka tied up the stick of Mikavakis to not let her get a shot on goal. Now back the other way. Stonehill ties him up in the far corner, and Stonehill looks like they have some energy now after being on the penalty kill for a majority of the last couple of minutes, and is that another penalty called? Hand gets raised, penalty gets called, but it looks like this one's going against post. Karis Kale. Referee's having a lot of fun here in the second period. 3 minutes 46 to go. Kale gets a penalty assessed to her. The combined 9th power play of the game. Eventually you would think this Stonehill power play has to break through. They're 0 for 4 on the day. They come in at 22%, which if you live by percentages, this would be the one. Peyton Wise tried a tough angle shot, handled cleanly by Saunders. Loose rebound almost hit the netting. The shot didn't quite get there. Wise battling for it in the near corner, along with Mendezoon. Back to Wise. Now over to the blue line. Another shot. That one was Spadone. I believe it hit off the crossbar. Along the near boards, VDO able to clear the zone and actually sends it up the ice. Jody Rose was looking for a little shorthanded opportunity, but a good back check there from Stonehill, and they were able to prevent the chance. Sina Spadone. Haven't said her name a whole lot. Freshman brings it into the offensive zone, leaves it for her teammate Connolly. Connolly across the crease, and that chance got denied by Saunders. Geist tries it to the far wing. Now Connolly driving towards the net, leaving it behind the net, and a one-time opportunity for Wise. Another rebound chance, and Saunders gobbles it and covers it up. 58 seconds left on this power play opportunity. 2 minutes 43 left to go in the second. Both teams going to get a platoon swap. Good-looking power play for Stonehill so far. Almost the entirety of it has been in their offensive zone. 2 shots on goal, both stopped by Saunders on this try. Defensive zone win for Post, a big win. Sagel Desai couldn't quite clear the zone. It's kept in by Stonehill, and now she's able to clear it. Goes all the way down the ice, and that was Jet Devlin, actually, who was able to get it down there. And Devlin following through on her clearance, trying to be aggressive on the forecheck. A ton of energy there from the second unit penalty killer. And it wastes some more time, and it forces some good plays like that. Timmery Grom into the offensive zone, leaves it for Devlin. Devlin couldn't quite tip it on net. 25 seconds on the power play. Bailey Feeney. Haven't said her name a whole lot today. She drives towards the net into that left slot, but it gets taken away by Brooke Larson before she can get the shot on goal. Timmery Grom trying to clear the zone. She does. Slowly back down the ice, and that should do it on the power play. Post preparing like it is. And in fact, that will. Back to even strength, and 0 for 5 on the day are Stonehill with the man advantage. They get it out of their defensive zone. Post trying to tie him up at neutral ice. Amons just chips it down off the boards. Back towards her offensive zone. Less than 2 minutes left. 1-0 game. Got the icebreaker early from Brianna Walcom, her first goal of the season in the second period. Now Mikavakis. Good takeaway in the offensive zone. Swings it off the side of the net, goes into the far corner, and now Stonehill looking to break out. Get tied up at the blue line. McKenna Slocum. She takes a shot. That one hit a body and deflects into the corner. Danny Amons collects it, banks it, gets it all the way back down the ice. No icing will be called, and we're under a minute left to go in this second period. Shots on goal. Post has really done a better job this period. They've evened it up for the most part, 19-17. Remember, it was 15-5 after one period. They take it away in their defensive end and now try to go the other way, right to left with less than 40 seconds. Dumping it in is Macy Peterson, chasing after it, Sajal Desai. Jody Rose also there to chase after it. A hard hit, no penalty called. Bailey Feeney along the far boards leaves it for her teammate, and Gracie Saka with one last push for Stonehill. 3-on-2 forming. Saka looking for a man and shoots one, saved by Saunders. Peterson clears the defensive zone, leaves it for Farberman. 15 seconds left. Farberman content to just dump it in, and Stone content to cover it up with less than 10 seconds to go in this period. Boy, at the end of the first period, shots on goal were 12-4 in favor of Stonehill College. How about this? Total on the game now, 19-17, and in the second period, it's 13-7 in favor of Post. Of course, the power play units have helped with that. 3 power play attempts this period for the Eagles. Less than 7 seconds left. They win the faceoff, but a tie-up on the far corner, near corner, I should say, and that'll do it for the second period overall. Good defensive game so far in this one. Post starting to get some of their offense back as we're getting a little bit of extracurriculars here between Tim-Marie Grom and Maeve Connolly, pushing and shoving each other after the end of the whistle. Now Tim-Marie Grom talking to Skibelli, one of the referees, and we'll see if maybe I highly doubt anything's going to get called, but wouldn't be the most unlikely thing in the world. Either way, at the end of 2, it's 1-0 in favor of Stonehill. The goal coming off the stick of Brianna Walcom, her first of the season, and a crucial final 20 minutes coming up after a 15-minute break as you're watching Post University Women's Hockey. Welcome back into the Sports Center of Connecticut. Down to the final 20 minutes of this game. It's a 1-0 Stonehill lead. They scored the icebreaker in the first period. First goal of the season came off the stick of Brianna Walcom. It's a crucial game in the New Hawk Conference standings. The assist for that goal from Brianna Walcom, we'll tell you in just a second, came thanks to Regan Wynot and Mia Kenmore, all part of that fourth line. And now we're just about ready for the final 20 minutes of play here in Shelton. In the standings, these teams entered in 4th place for Stonehill and 6th place for Post, respectively. 8 points separated the two. And right now, Stonehill's looking to get another 2 to Post 0. If the scores remain the same, we're underway here in the third. Post really turned it around in that second period, statistically at least. Able to get many more shots on goal and even up that total, and a lot more offensive possession time. But the only stat that matters is the one on the scoreboard. It's a 1-0 Stonehill lead. Really tie up in the far corner there. A bunch of bodies flying to the ice early in this third period. Stonehill collects it, turns it over. Julia Wysocki driving towards the net, stands up a hit. But now Stonehill going the other way, right to left. Trying to enter the offensive zone is Peyton Wise. She does and actually keeps it in the zone temporarily. Pass back to Wysocki. Wysocki smartly drives it behind the netting so that Post can reset and try to break out of their defensive zone. Pass up the ice, turned over to Sydney Russell. Stonehill unable to enter the zone. Good job by Brooke Larson to intercept that pass before it got in too deep. Only about a minute gone here in the third period. Both teams feeling each other out, getting their legs refreshed. Post getting a big platoon swap here. Stonehill not really able to catch him and what was looking like a sloppy change. Now they're going the other way with it. Bailey Feeney, 22 points on the year, driving towards the net in a tough angled shot. Believe Hannah Saunders got a piece of that one. 18:35 left in this third period. Jody Rose through neutral ice, carries it herself, and now a bank pass to herself deep in the offensive zone. Leaves it to her teammate, and now her teammate gets it right back to her. Almost taken away by Sydney Russell. And it does. Comes back out to neutral ice. Casey Van Den Udelaar tips it in towards her teammate. Sage will decide, just dumps it in deep, gets tipped, so no icing called. It'll be Hannah Squires who recollects for Stonehill. Post really getting aggressive on the forecheck. Peterson was able to force the turnover there. Tried to leave it into the slot and then turned it over herself. Now the other way, Stonehill. Lily Geist has it behind the netting. Back up towards the blue line. It was Sina Spadone that was able to keep it in, but only temporarily, as Post does get it out of their zone. Spadone has it on her stick once again. Now along the near boards, back towards the middle, and a big turnover there. Sage will decide the other way. Couldn't quite get it through neutral ice, and Post is going to have to reset, try to collect things behind their own netting. Mentioned it as we started this period. We'll get to it a bit more, actually. But before that, Mia Kenmore driving towards the net. Tough angled shot. Good defensive back check by Casey Van Den Udelaar. The shot never got on goal. Back out towards the blue line and resetting things for Post. Sarah Taylor just dumps it in. McKenna Slocum couldn't handle it clearly in the far corner. Tristan Curry picks it up for the Eagles and does clear the defensive end. And this was the case for most of the first period. In the beginning of the second period for Stonehill, really just getting the puck at neutral ice, able to dump it in and retain offensive possession. Post trying to change it up and reverse that trend. They dump it all the way down. It would have been an icing, but it hit the net, and actually Eve Stone is going to have to cover it up. 16:30 left in this third period, Post trailing by 1. In the first period, the shots on goal total was a dominant 12-4 in favor of Stonehill. That changed 13-8 in the second period in favor of Post, and neither team with a real shot on goal so far in this third. Defensive game so far, total in the game 20-17 in favor of the Skyhawks. Maeve Connolly with a lot of speed moves the puck into the offensive end. Gets tied up. Now Peyton Wise has it. Swings it around the boards. Looks like Marley Webster will be there first. She does, and now resets it over to Brooke Larson. Larson, bank pass out of the zone, back up the ice, and that should be an icing if it goes down the entire way. It is. Some other stats for the rest of this game. Both teams 0 for 4 on the power play. In that second period alone, it was a ton of stoppages, a ton of whistles, and a ton of penalties. 8 combined power plays in the game. There were 5 in that second period. And a combined 21 faceoffs saw Post winning most of them 12-9. This time it's Stonehill who wins the faceoff, but couldn't keep it in the offensive zone. Have to touch up on sides, and Larson collects. Now Webster tries an up-ice pass, gets blocked, played by a high stick. Jet Devlin sends it in, or tries to send it in deep, but it actually hit a referee. Feeney along the near boards, looking to move the puck right to left. Couldn't quite get it to her teammate, and Pitter now comes the other way. Ringer tries to tip it to herself in the offensive end of things, has her stick held and retains possession. Around the net she goes, sends it into the slot, no one there to take a shot. Good try from Ringer, but no one was really there to get a good shot on goal. Post still has possession into the offensive zone. Wysocki, ooh, a good chance there. Mikavicus just left the pass too long. With a lot of speed, Sina Spadone. Long shot into the near corner. Just dumping it in. Lucy Turcotte sends it to the other end now, where Lily Geist will collect it for Stonehill. Couldn't collect it for that long. Wysocki took it away, tried to get it for Ringer. Goes all the way into the defensive zone of the Skyhawks. Looked like Stonehill was actually going to be called for delayed offsides there, so they had to touch up for a second. I thought it was a penalty, and I was confused for a second there, but the touch up, and that's what forced Post to have possession there, but only quickly. Now coming right to left. Sarah Taylor just dumped it in. Jody Rose collects for the Eagles. Leaves it for Danny Amons. Amons had some trouble with the pass there. And does find Noah Farberman entering the offensive zone. Back for Jody Rose, and Rose couldn't handle it cleanly. Left along the far boards and coming the other way. Good move there. That was Brianna Walkham driving towards the net, but had it taken away from her before she can get the shot. Noah Farberman for Peterson. Right now, Post, even down a goal, looking content to just kind of dump and chase, dump and change for the most part. They're not getting a whole lot of offensive possession time with just under 14 minutes left to go in this final period of play, down a goal. Got to give Stonehill credits where it's due. They've kept the puck in their offensive end for the majority of this game, especially here in this third period. Puck in the offensive zone of Post, trying to force the turnover and sending it deep to the corner. Now Riley Patfield has it, tries a tough angled shot, but that one off the side of the netting. Patfield to collect her own chance or her own rebound. Tie up for it right next to the boards. In that near corner, Patfield still fighting for it. Not a whole lot of help from her Eagles teammates. They do keep it in the offensive zone. The deflection towards the net, and a good heads-up play from Eva Stone. Boy, that was a tough-looking shot. Might have deflected off of a Stonehill defender, and Stone was able to stay with it. Stone, she's been perfect. Stopped 16 of 16 shots, including that one so far. Had a little contact after that one, but it was from her own teammate. Faceoff comes to her left. It's Timmery Grumman there. She loses it. A good win for Stonehill. Trying to get it through neutral ice are the Skyhawks. Trying to prevent them are the Eagles. And it goes back into the Skyhawks defensive zone. Behind the netting, now Lily Barrett tries to send it up the ice, and she does. Bailey Feeney, lots of speed into the offensive zone. Makes one, maybe two people miss, but actually gets it taken away. Now Riley Patfield with a lot of open ice ahead of her. Becoming a 1-on-2 and smartly just dumps it on net. Eva Stone does leave it for her teammate. Thought she was going to cover it for a second. 12:34 left in this third period. Back into the offensive zone go the Skyhawks. Turcotte fans on the pass. Tried to get one into the center ice there. Couldn't quite do so. Mitchell clears the zone. Tries to get it to Devlin, and Devlin just dumps it forward. Hannah Luckman, she scored 2 goals over the last 2 games. She's back in the game now, trying to make a play. Almost was able to force a turnover, and actually they do. Devlin leaves it for Luckman. Luckman couldn't handle it cleanly, and now it goes the other way. Catherine Caro Sends it behind the netting of Hannah Saunders. DJ Maroslo has to be pretty happy with this. Stonehill getting a lot of offensive zone time, even though the shots on goal totals for both sides are pretty minimal here in this third period. It's just 2 shots on goal for Stonehill. If you include that one, it'll be 3 now. 0 for Post University so far. We're almost halfway through the third. Back into the offensive zone for the Skyhawks. Oh, a beautiful move, a backhand try, and saved by Saunders. Boy, what a chance that time for fourth liner McKenna Slocum. A windmill deke around a defender, and almost a beautiful goal, but Hannah Saunders able to keep it at 1-0. It'll be Connolly versus Wysocki, and Connolly wins that faceoff. Post does have possession, though, out of their defensive zone. Wysocki almost was able to handle that pass. Instead, Connolly has it now with a lot of speed along the near boards. Pitter with a good body check. Goes back behind the netting. Danny Amons getting hit by a couple of Stonehill Skyhawks, and puck trickles out to the far corner. Still no one having full possession yet. Pitter and Connolly about to battle for it. Someone's stick goes flying. That was Amons. Looked like it got checked out of her hands there. Nothing called. Hannah Squires sends it in deeper, back from Madison Actel. Actel has the pass taken away from her. A nice heads-up play from Amons, and once again we're in a tie-up behind the net of Saunders. Post able to take it away. Rowan Ringer through neutral ice. Moving towards the right side now. McKavick is trailing her. Ringer spins around and just dumps it in deep. Looks like Wysocki got tripped up near the boards. Van den Udelaar with a long shot, deflected wide of the netting. Peterson was right there in front of the net, but her deflection just got wide. Good body check. Believe that's Ruby Mitchell back there for Post. Almost taking the puck away from Bailey Feeney. It's tied up between the two defense pairings. Less than 10 minutes left in this third period of play, a defensive third period. Now Post. Rowan Ringer circling around, looking for someone to get the puck to, and actually just goes behind her own netting. Sends it up the near boards. Selena McKavick now. Sends it to the far side. Post content to just tip it forward and get a change. All of the Skyhawks stay on the ice, and they move right to left. Gracie Saka past the blue line, trying to get around a whole quadrant of Post defenders, couldn't quite do so. Rose sends it back up the other way, gets taken away, and we'll do it all over again. Jody Rose into the offensive zone with Peterson. Peterson tried to send it back to Rose, but that pass got intercepted. Kat Caro into the offensive zone. Sends one on goal, and Saunders stops that one. Another chance. Saunders able to knock it down. Rebound number 3. Saunders finally able to cover it up. Make it 3 shots on goal in the span of 10 seconds for Stonehill there, but it's kept at a 1-0 game. Boy, Post slow to get back defensively that time, and it almost cost them. DJ Maroslo keeping the same line out there, and actually that's going to take us to our media timeout. 8:51 to go in this third period of play. Post looking to get their first goal of the game, see if they can tie it up. It's 1-0 Stonehill. Little less than 9 minutes left to go in this third period of play. Faceoff comes to the right of Hannah Saunders. The Eagles trailing 1-0 to the Skyhawks. And a Skyhawk faceoff win in their offensive end. They send it in deep. Brooke Larson trying to play it around the boards to her own defenders. Couldn't quite do it cleanly, and a good chance there. That was Kat Caro right into the slot. Don't know if it hit the net. Trickled along the near boards. And kept in the zone that time. Lily Geist sent one on goal, blocked before it actually hit there. And once again, Post not able to clear. Geist able to keep it in. Along the near boards, spinning around, looking for someone to pass it to. Tried to send it into the slot, taken away by Karis Kale. Now Riley Patfield content to just dump it into the far corner. Some of her teammates will chase after it. I believe that's Tristan Curry going after it there. And now Post with possession. A shot looked like it just got under it for Tim-Marie Grom. Stonehill trying to break out. Post trying to keep it in. Angeline Pitter almost able to do so, and she does, as Tristan Curry's able to send it in deep. Squires behind her own net looking to break out. Past the blue line through neutral ice goes Stonehill. Quick shot on goal, but it actually got blocked once again. I believe it was Ruby Mitchell with that block. Trickles into the near corner. Battle for it, a tie-up. Jet Devlin comes away with it, back behind her own net. To the left circle. Gets it taken away in her own defensive zone, but nothing scary coming of that just yet. McKenna Slocum in the offensive zone, looking for someone to leave it for. Really hasn't found anyone, and now Post does have possession. Kept in at the blue line once again. And really this forecheck proving to be just a tough puzzle to crack if you're Post University. Not able to clear the defensive zone. A lot of time on the ice, and they're going to call that offsides on Sina Spadone. Looked like, in my opinion, she was able to keep it in, but hey, you can't complain if you're Post. They need a line change, and they'll get an entire platoon swap, as that was a lot of time spent in the defensive end of things. Pretty important face-off coming up at neutral ice. They have their top line out there, forward pairing, and it's the second line, Van Den Udelar, and a different pairing, actually, Danny Amons as well. Defensively, they lose the face-off, trying to keep the puck in neutral ice. And it does go into the offensive zone. That's ruled offsides. We'll have another whistle. Taking a look at some of the scores from around the Newhawk Conference today. Well, hasn't been the most lucky day if you're Post University. You were rooting for Assumption, and Assumption lost to St. A's 4-3 earlier today. Sacred Heart won their game against St. Michael's 5-1. No real consequences for Post there. And Franklin Pierce actually lost. It was a come-from-behind victory by Long Island University. That one's somewhat meaningful. Franklin Pierce in third place right now in the Newhawk. 2-1 was the final there over in Long Island, by the way. Back here in Shelton, 6:24 left in this third period. It's been all Stonehill in the third. Really a defensive game on both sides. 1-0. Back towards the net of Hannah Saunders. She's just going to safely cover it up, and we'll have another face-off towards her. Overall in the game, 25 shots on goal for Stonehill, just 19 for Post University. Face-off totals 25-23, a close game, but slight edge for the Eagles there. Make it 25-24 after Regan Wynot picks up that one. Tried a shot, hit the hand of Sajal Desai, I believe, and she almost took it out of the zone. Finally, Post does clear it. Goes all the way back down. Noah Farberman didn't take the best angle on it. Has it taken away from her. Now Stonehill. Back in their own end, just playing a little keep away behind the netting. Farberman almost was able to retain possession. Now Larson with a long shot, sails over the net. Off the far boards, going through neutral ice, Gracie Saka. 1-on-4, Saka against the four Post defenders. Eventually, Sajal Desai does end up with the puck behind her own net. And sloppy passing there between Desai and Larson, the turnover in their own defensive zone. You can't afford that. Less than 6 minutes to go in this third period. Lucy Turcotte couldn't handle that pass cleanly. That should be an icing, and it is. Karis Kale touches up. Faceoff will come down the other way. It's Tim Marie Grom, Riley Patfield, Tristan Curry, Angeline Pitter, and Karis Kale, the 5-woman out there for post. Face-off lost by the Eagles, trying to keep it in their offensive zone. Pitter was almost able to do so. Ends up trickling back out to Karis Kale, who will reset things. Kale takes it herself, dumps it in deep, has her stick held as she goes into the corner there. Nothing called, and now the tie-up. Looks like it's going to be Sienna Spadone who comes away with it. Post had a touch-up, so back behind the netting are the Skyhawks looking to break things out. Through neutral ice, it gets taken away. Marley Webster with the good interception there and left it for Curry. Curry driving towards the net, the backhanded shot, and one of the only chances of the third period so far gets saved. Eve Stone with a good save there. Puck goes to the far corner on the other end of the ice now. Marley Webster sends it around the boards. It's kept in by Regan Wynot. Wynot tries one. Gets stopped by Danny Amons before it hits the net, and Amons sends it all the way down. It'll be an icing with 4:04 left to go in this third period of play. In this third period, the shots on goal total, 8 combined shots on goal between the two sides, 5 for Stonehill and 3 for Post. Both these teams came into this game with a defensive mindset. Stonehill, maybe a little bit of an offensive mindset on their power play, but it has been the true hard-nosed game today. Another shot gets blocked, and I'm going to take a look at those totals during the next whistle because there have been a ton of blocked shots on both sides. Back into the offensive zone. Post just able to dump it in and get a quick change in. Stonehill coming the other way. Mia Kenmore dumps it now into the other side, and once again Stonehill will do the same thing, but their change. Danny Amons gets it tied up. Gets it back to one of her teammates, and now Rowan Ringer has it. Van den Udelar, bank pass, tried for herself into the offensive zone. Trying to keep it in the offensive end for Post is Julia Wysocki, and the tie-up along these near boards. It's 3 Eagles and 2 Skyhawks are in there, and the Skyhawks come away with it. Madison Actil through neutral ice has it taken away. Sajal Desai with a good defensive play. And now you're starting to see a little bit more hustle defensively from Post with just about 3 minutes left in this game. You can start questioning when Hannah Saunders starts heading towards the net. In the far corner, now left into the slot. Wysocki drives one, backhanded try, saved by Stone. Rebound is loose, and eventually Stone does cover it up. Body's going flying into the crease. And good job by Stone. Good positioning save a couple of times there. Less than 3 minutes in this game. Platoon swap for the Skyhawks. The defensive faceoff will come to the right of Eve Stone. It's Gracie Saka. Bailey Feeney is out there, but in the faceoff circle, it's Josie Mendezoon. She lost that one. A big hit there on Noah Farberman. Penalty called. And now it'll be Gracie Saka going to the penalty box with 2:41 left to go for body checking. Let's make sure Noah Farberman's okay. Farberman got leveled there. Her helmet came off. Football style. Good to see her up on her feet. Referees are talking about it. This might be a major penalty. Referees were having a conference for a quick second. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So, 2-minute minor assessed to Gracie Saka. It'll be the first power play of this third period, the 5th power play overall of this game. Both teams 0 for 4 on the power play. Big face-off win for Stonehill. Trying to keep it in the zone is Post. Tie up right at that far blue line. Actually stays in the offensive zone and stays in, but only temporarily. Farberman does recollect things. Start to wonder when Hannah Saunders makes her way towards the bench. The Eagles down a goal, but up a man right now, and maybe can make it up 2 men. Around the boards it goes. Kept by Jody Rose. Rose at the blue line. She takes a shot, deflected down by Eve Stone. Hannah Saunders goes off to the bench. 6 skaters on for Post University. Empty net. Tie up along the blue line. 1 minute, 20 seconds to go in the power play there, so it's 6 on 4. And then for the final 30 seconds or so, it'll be 6 on 5. Puck swung around the boards by Stonehill. Couldn't clear the zone. Angeline Pitter left to the other side. Rose sends it into the slot, and a good opportunity there, but the shot went wide off the netting. Angeline Pitter kept it in at the near boards. Now Rowan Ringer. Ringer tries a long try. It gets blocked, deflected, and all the way down the ice. Almost one of the longest goals you'll see of this season, but instead it's just a clearance, and Post will have to reset. 1:24 left in the game, 40 seconds to go on the power play. Wysocki into the offensive zone, has it taken away. Good defensive play that time by Madison Actel, but then she turns it over. Curry with the shot, and that one, believe shouldered aside by Eve Stone to the near blue line. Brooke Larson fires away, and that one blocked. Good defensive play. Puck is still loose, the rebound chance. No call yet, and it's covered up by Eve Stone. Boy, a beautiful save from Stone. A couple of chances there for Post. We are just under a minute to go left in this game. Jody Rose looks like she might be a little bit, actually that's Julia Wysocki, I should say. Looked like she might have been a little bit shaken up, taken off her glove and shaken off her hand after that play. Pat Bingham wisely calls a timeout. 59.5 left to go in this game. It'll be a 6 on 4 when we get back in 30 seconds. "18 seconds left on the power play, 59.5 to go in this game. And empty net for Post University. Hannah Saunders on the bench, 6 skaters on for the Eagles. Again, 6 on 4 for 18 seconds. They lose the faceoff. Big win for Stonehill. They send it around the boards where Rowan Ringer tries to collect it. Tie up along here. Just about 10 seconds back towards the blue line. To the other side now, Van den Udelar for Wysocki. Wysocki left it down low, but the pass got tipped away. Battle for it behind the netting. Out of the box is Saka, 6 on 5. No more power play, but just about 40 seconds to go. Ringer keeps it in the offensive end of things. Selena Mikavicus now in the far corner. Back towards the blue line. VDO tries a shot. Wobbling puck, the rebound chance, and a beautiful save from Eve Stone. Boy, how did she get a piece of that one? It looked like it was a great opportunity for Mikavicus. 18 seconds to go. To the far side, Van den Udelar. Her try gets blocked. A beautiful sliding block at that time by Bailey Feeney. And Stonehill clears the zone. Less than 10 seconds left, and that should likely do it. Around the netting they go. And Stonehill is going to sweep the Post University Eagles, winning last night's game 5-2 and tonight's game 1-0. A crucial 2 points in the New Ha Conference standings and a beautiful shutout victory for Eve Stone. Heartbreaking. If you're an Eagles fan, Pat Bingham and crew, you're really hoping for this victory. A hard-fought defensive game on both sides as they now meet up at center ice for the handshakes. Especially in that third period alone. Final tallies in that third period. 8 shots on goal for Post University, 5 shots on goal for Stonehill. Compare that to the second period. It was 13-8 in favor of Post in the first period, 12-4 in favor of Stonehill. So by all definitions, the defenders really stood out today. The lone goal of the game came in the second period. It was Brianna Walkham with her first goal of the season. But we'll have all that information and more for you in our quick post-game report coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Once again, the Fine Hill. It's Stonehill 1, Post nothing. Eagles saluting the fans here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, the rinks at Shelton. Another good game in the New-Ha, a defensive game today. Saw both goalies play very, very well. Of course, one of the top goalies in the country, Hannah Saunders, had a great game once again, entering today with the 5th best save percentage in the entire nation as she stopped 23 of 24 shots today. Meanwhile, Eve Stone, in only her 5th start of the season, again, coming back from an injury, she was the scheduled starter at the start of the year. She stopped all 25 of her shots today for her 2nd shutout of the season. It was scoreless after one period between these two teams, but halfway through the second, it was Brianna Wacom netting her 1st goal of the season. It was assisted by Regan Wynot and Mia Kenmore on that play. And, hey, that'll be the only goal of this game defensively. Both teams really stood out blocks-wise in this game. Stonehill, 11 blocks total. How about 9 blocks for Post University? Not quite the total you would have hoped for, but still a pretty good defensive game. Face-off totals in this game, 28-26 in favor of Stonehill. Taking a look at some of the other shots, 25-24 shots on goal in favor of the Skyhawks, and both teams a combined 0 for 9 on the power play opportunity. Remember, Stonehill, the top-ranked power play in the New-Ha by percentage points this year, coming in at about 22%. They went 0 for 4. Meanwhile, Post 0 for 5, including a flurry of shots at the very end. Post went 6 on 4, taking Hannah Saunders off the ice and getting a bunch of opportunities late in that game, but ultimately just couldn't crack the tough puzzle. That was Eve Stone today. For Eve Stone, the junior out of North Billerica, Massachusetts, and I will never get that town name straight. And she improved to what is now her 3rd win of the season. 3-0-1 with her 2nd shutout. And the junior, she next year will have quite a campaign, you have to imagine, here in the New-Ha. Well, that's just about going to do it for us here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. For everyone else on our production crew, joined alongside Grace Glassrud, Jake Hanan, and Kristen Brown, my name is Max Stapleton saying thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week for a home-and-home series against LIU.